What makes a good catchphrase? To me, it has to be both memorable and impactful, which means it's also important when the catchphrase is said and how often, as one that's used too much really starts to lose its meaning. And today, I'll be going over my top 5 Yu-Gi-Oh! Catchphrases. And one more thing before we get into number 5, I'll only be covering the dub catchphrases, so let me know if you'd like to see another video just covering the sub. Coming in at number 5, we've got "It's time to duel." This catchphrase in particular is iconic. It was used all throughout the original series by Yugi/the Pharaoh. The positives for this one is that everybody knows it. It's simple but effective, and you know exactly what's about to happen after it gets said. However, it is very simple, which is why it isn't higher on the list. So coming in at number 4, we've got a very similar one, "Get your game on." It's similar to the previous one because it gets used in a similar context. The person who says it is Jaden Yuki, the protagonist of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And there's no particular reason I rank this higher than "It's time to duel." It's just my personal preference. I think the wording gives it slightly more character, and it fits Jaden very well. Moving on to number 3, we've got one from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc-V. "Swing far, pendulum. Carve the arc of victory." This is said by our protagonist, Yuya, and he does have other catchphrases, but this is the one that I feel has the best wording. And when he pendulum summons using this catchphrase, it sounds like a great introduction for the monster or monsters that he's about to summon. It's got a great tone, and it feels like he's just about to turn the duel around when he says it. But there is a catchphrase that does this introduction slightly better in my opinion. In my number 2 spot from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, we have
"Let's rev it up!"
which is said of course by Yusei Fudo. Now I'm not going to pretend that what he's saying is particularly meaningful, however he only ever says this in big moments, usually when he's bringing out a boss monster, and it does fit the theme of the series very well. It brings excitement when he says it in a duel, because you know he's about to pull off a play, and it brings energy to the situation. And before we get to number 1, there is a couple honorable mentions. The first one is a bit of a technicality because it's more of a summoning chant than a catchphrase. It's for Galaxy Eye's Photon Dragon, Kite Tenjo's monster from Yu-Gi-Oh! ZEXAL. "Here comes the monster more savage than a supernova, with the cataclysmic force of 10 black holes put together, a cosmic scourge that vaporizes anything in its path. Appear, Galaxy Eye's Photon Dragon." In fact, I'll probably do a video just on summoning chants in the future. And the second honorable mention also isn't a catchphrase. I think it's something Bakura only says once. As Marek is about to win in Battle City, Marek says to Bakura, "Get ready to enter the darkness at the hands of Ra." And Bakura responds by saying, "Don't you realize that I am the darkness?" I think that's just an amazing line, and spoiler alert, knowing that he's Zork as well makes it quite literal, and it's great foreshadowing. But now we've reached my number 1 choice. The best catchphrase in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! In my opinion. From Yu-Gi-Oh! ZEXAL, "I'm feeling the flow. Yuma Tsukumo." Let me explain why. This has everything you would want in a catchphrase. I think this catchphrase has every quality from all of the ones I've listed already. It gives that sense of anticipation, like every time he says it, something's about to happen. It brings energy and excitement, and along with the catchphrase, Yuma tends to do some acrobatics in preparation for his next move, which I always just found quite entertaining overall. It makes me root for Yuma as a character and makes me want him to win, which is quite fitting because he uses it when he's about to make a comeback. And it takes him out of that negative headspace, where sometimes he starts to doubt his ability and wonder if he's really capable of winning the duel or not. Overall, it's positive, it's infectious, and it's usually a sign of good things to come. It's also sometimes used in combination with High Five the Sky, but feeling the flow reflects Yuma's outlook on life. When he's in that zone, he feels unstoppable, and it displays a choice to have a positive mindset, which I feel goes extremely well with his character, and that's why it's my number 1 pick. If you made it to the end, thanks for watching. Let me know what your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Catchphrase is in the comments, and also let me know if you want to see a video on summoning chants next.